if I have to be bombarded with the Dylan Mulvaney's of the world and the progressive ideologies and the transgender agenda, I should have a right to be able to say something about that, or at least discuss it.
I'm not working on a conservative platform, you know. It makes everything harder for us.
Yeah. But yet they're going to tell us that we're extremists for expressing an opinion or having an idea on these topics. We're just not supposed to talk about it. We're supposed to ignore it. But I don't think we're that kind of people. I always, when I have a guest, I always try to find out what the world is saying about them. Oh. And it's interesting.
Damn.
It's interesting.
Depending on the part of the world you're talking
That's
about.
That's true. I love this. And like this actually endears me to you. It endears you to me, I should say.
Okay.
There's a website out there, and I'm on a lot of these websites. So
like a left activist website.
Oh, they're hack jobs.
Okay.
Extreme lefty.
Let hear what you have to say.
These are the equivalent of journalistic trolls. They're out to save the world. You know?
Okay, yeah.
And nobody pays attention to them. And when people like of our audience, when they read this stuff, we laugh at it. This is this website is globalextremism.org, which is funny because when you go to their homepage, GPAHE, Global Project Against Hate and Extremism.org, they immediately have an email sign up that pops up for their newsletter. So solid capitalists, I could say that. Solid freaking capitalists, you progressives out there. Because you know why they're collecting those email addresses? So they can send you stuff and you can sponsor the shit they're doing. So here's the deal. French far right, they always throw that in. YouTuber. Ooh.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the best part of the article.
French far-right YouTuber relocates to Fort Worth, becomes diehard Texan. Oh my God.
Relocate to Forest? I'm not living in Fort Worth.
Exactly. You don't even live in Fort Worth.
There's a fake news in the first line.
Exactly. That's the headline.
Yeah.
That's where these guys go. And I won't labor on this, but there's some humorous points in here. It says he operates a YouTube channel, Bench and Cigars. He's a far-right identitarian. Okay. And he holds a French bench pressing record. How dare you?
At least I say that. I mean, I said something positive.
So you do hold...
I'm okay to be the far-right, identitary, Nazi, everything, but I still got the bench press record.
Still set the record, baby. So my thing is, you still hold that record.
Yeah, in the 220 category, yeah.
Good God, dude. So you weigh 220 pounds.
Yeah.
What are they in France? They pound. They're kilos, right?
Kilos, 100 kilo.
Leave it to Americans to screw up a good metric system. Hey guys, for 10 years, Patriot Mobile has been America's only Christian conservative wireless provider. And when I say the only one, trust me, they are the only one. And Patriot Mobile has been a great supporter of this show, and I'm proud to continue partnering with them. Patriot Mobile offers dependable nationwide coverage, and they give you access to all three major networks, which means you're going to get the same dependable coverage that you're accustomed to without funding leftist causes. See, when you switch to Patriot Mobile, you're sending a message. You're saying that you support free speech, religious liberty, the sanctity of life, the Second Amendment, our first responder, and our military heroes. And they have a 100% US-based customer service team, which is going to make switching so easy. You can keep your number, keep your phone. Call them up. They'll help you upgrade with a brand new phone. Whatever you need, their team will help you find the best plan for your needs. You go to patriotmobile.com/Chad. You can call them on the phone if you want to, 972-PATRIOT. Talk to them. And you get free activation when you use promo code CHAD. I spell it Chad. That's right. Join me. Make the switch today. Go to patriotmobile.com/Chad. That's patriotmobile.com/Chad. Use promo code Chad. Call them up. 972-PATRIOT. And then gosh, that's why I say, I'm not messing with you. You're a social media influencer, and you tend, and I follow you on Instagram, and they're right on this. You show off, he shows off his hunting and culinary skills in preparing meat products.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm scared.
That's what I'm doing.
This is extreme.
I mean,
This
for
is
them, that's
hardcore.
probably extreme.
This morning I got up, I fired up the grill, I grilled a 12-ounce steak, a filet, and cooked some eggs, and so I'm already engaged in extreme behavior today, Baptiste. It goes into this thing. It says you left France for Texas and now rebranded as a typical Southern conservative. My people. That brings a little tear to my eye, honestly. You were a bouncer at a bar. I don't know. We'll get it all this stuff. They could go read it. They could search it. The disappointing thing was when I went to the search bar on this website, I put in Chad Prather, and there were no results found.
Yeah, I'm just more famous than you.
Dude, I'm telling you, I got to step up my game at this point. But you got a YouTube channel that began as a venture into weightlifting culture, hunting, shooting, smoking cigars, cooking all kinds of meat, but at times would verge towards far-right politics. So earns you a spot amongst the internet's notorious fascist sphere. The fascist sphere is what they're calling that, fasciosphere.
The fasciosphere.
So they go into all these different things about things you've done, and God forbid you've actually been on a motorcycle. This is horrible.
That's right.
Horrible stuff. People that you've associated with, people you've been around, people you've called out, people you've smacked around a little bit. I'm like, okay. I'm trying to find something that I don't like about this guy. And you've been pretty staunch in terms of your religious outlook, your faith. All of the controversial things. Here's one I like. It says, since moving to Texas, Marchais has launched headfirst into American politics, and you have a French language podcast on French and American politics. He's argued that those who criticize the QAnon beloved film Sound of Freedom are defending pedophilia.
Yeah. And so what? Yeah.
These people are a joke, man. I love this so much. And I love your response. Yeah. He's pontificated on the recent go woke, go broke backlash, praised the anti-trans boycotts against Bud Light and Target. He's also said that Muslims who vote for Joe Biden and French left-wing politician Jean-Luc Mélenchon have made a deal with the devil due to these men's pro-LGBTQ plus platform, and he considers Donald Trump to be a political prisoner of President Joe Biden. Well, what do you think? What's your assessment there?
I mean, that's pretty legit. I mean, normally they create a lot of things, right? Like they're more straight on the news on this one.
Yeah.
So I give them a point because they're actually listening my podcast for real. So that's cool. So
it's good publicity.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know about this website, but
Good for you.
Thanks to make me discover that.
I've made a few lists in my time. You know, they put me on a list of some of the world's biggest hate mongers because of how many times I've mentioned the word groomer on Twitter.
Okay.
I think I was ranked 8th amongst influencers for how many times I've mentioned.
You can do better.
I can go higher.
Yeah.
We can pump those numbers up.
Yeah.
But it was
groomer.
Groomer.
This is
groomer. See how many
It will
times.
be 7 at the end of this podcast.
See how many. And you know what's crazy? Now, what's crazy is they would say that you and I are spreading hate by using a term like that. And they would actually go so far, places like YouTube, which I'm encouraging everybody, if you're listening to this podcast on a podcast platform where it's audio only, or you're watching it on Twitter or Facebook or something, go to YouTube and subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button. It helps us actually whenever you watch it on Facebook. On YouTube. As much as we despise them, because they'll give you the marks against your account. Like, we're working real hard to get marks off of my account for using terms like groomer, or terms like vaccine, or terms like transgender. If you just say the word.
Yeah.
But yet they're going to tell us that we're extremists for expressing an opinion or having an idea on these topics. We're just not supposed to talk about it. We're supposed to ignore it. But I don't think we're that kind of people, right?
Yeah, and I mean, it's sometimes like some platforms are changing their policy about that, but it's it's always hard to go, like into the rules, and because we have to deal with that. The problem with that, I think, it's a business problem, because you and I, we make business with all of that. I mean, I work hard. And I know you do. Like, you do work hard for that, everything. And they can just destroy everything, just like that, just in a blink. So I know some of our public will sometime complain about, oh, you're not talking so much about that, or you're not going that far about that. But they have to understand that we have to deal with that, because we're on the enemy line. I'm not working on a conservative platform, hunting by someone from my side. No, we're working on a, like on a Google platform, on a Amazon platform, something like that. People would want to destroy us. We have to work on that side. So it's really hard, to always be, to keep moving and find a different way to go. So it could be like, it could be funny like that way, just to read that, like, how is that possible? You can't say transgender. Yeah, it is funny, but at the same time, it make everything harder for us.
Yeah. Well, it looks like a storm is coming in, and the funny thing about storms is they don't care if you're ready for them or not. I want you to be ready when the storm hits. Sometimes when it hits, it's too late. You can't prepare then. There's warning signs: the thunder, the clouds, the lightning in the sky. They let you know that it's time to expect a storm. You also know that the time to prepare for the storm is always right now. Now, I want to help you prepare for the coming storm. I want you to go to my special website, preparewithchad.com. When you're there, you're going to automatically save $200 on an essential 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply. Over the years, My Patriot Supply has helped millions of American families prepare for emergencies. Your family should be next. Now, sealed inside the ultra-durable packaging is their delicious meals that are going to last up to 25 years in storage and provide over 2,000 calories a day. You're able to eat right whenever things go wrong. And these 3-month emergency food kits from My Patriot Supply are going to help you do that. You need one for every member of your family. $200 in savings. You can get enough for each member. They all deserve protection, right? Go to preparewithchad.com. Order by 3 p.m. any given day, and you will get free shipping on the same day. The website, preparewithchad.com. Prepare for the storm. And I know there's people who are probably watching or listening to the show right now, and in your head, or you're typing in the live chat or the comments, well, you need to be posting it on Rumble. Well, we always have. But see, Rumble's not always that easy either, because they don't have the same back end
You can't even
stuff.
go on, you can't even go on Rumble in France.
Yeah, they don't even allow it in France, do they?
Yeah, it's not allowed in France.
Well, here, like, we've been trying to get...
Welcome to the Soviet Union, man.
It's tough, and I want to talk to you about that, because I know people, a lot of people know, but do they even realize really how bad it is and what the ramifications of that are? But, we always had our shows automatically loaded. If we put them on YouTube, they automatically loaded to Rumble when I was at the Blaze. Now we can't get Rumble to make that transition administratively. So it's a pain. Like right now, you have this thing called Google AdSense. That's how people get paid, by being on YouTube. I can't even get them to change my information on my AdSense account. They won't cooperate. So it's a lot of stuff that's hard to deal with, but then you get the censorship aspect of it put in there. And the lefties online would say, well, you shouldn't be such an asshole. Well, it's like, no, I don't think I'm an asshole for talking about these topics when they're thrust in my face. If I have to be bombarded with the Dylan Mulvaney's of the world and the progressive ideologies and the transgender agenda and the LGBT pride stuff and drag queens shaking their junk in front of my children at a story hour at the library or school, I should have a right to be able to say something about that, or at least discuss it without being called, extreme hate-filled or. And
it's not a subject people have to take lightly. You know what I mean? Because where's the limit? If they can just shut down your account, like your Instagram account, for something you say on story, like, there is a part of American people who are gonna be outrageous about that, but not gonna measure how a big deal it is.
Yeah.
And I will tell you how far it goes, because I come from France, and it's a country where that shit goes way more, like way far. Way farther than here. In France, they shut down all my bank accounts. I don't have any bank account.
No bank account in France.
No, they closed every bank account, and I'm not allowed to open a bank account in France. Even if I've never had any charge or I never be sentenced in a court or something.
Yeah.
They just don't want you to make business in France if you're in the other side. Like if you're a political enemy, they will just shut down your account. Right now, now that I'm living in Texas, I got a bank account there. But since that was struggling a lot to make business. And just like if I will stay in France, I can't even have a mortgage, like, so buy property, open a company, everything is impossible for me. And if you gonna ask how legal it is not. But there is nothing was legally said. Like if I ask a bank, like if I just come like an average customer and like, I would like to open a bank account there in your bank, they're gonna say, okay, do all the papers. Then I'm gonna receive a mail in a week say, oh, the direction don't want to work with you, sir, for some reason, and that's it.
Wow.
You know, nothing it say that the government said that you can't or something. So there is no legal, things. There is nothing real legal or illegal. It just doesn't exist. If you say that you have this problem, they're gonna say, no, it's fake. No, it is. It's real. Yeah. Everybody can say that. So I made a shirt, like a company. I made a shirt brand, okay? That was a shirt, like a Hawaiian shirt brand, and all the benefits goes to wounded soldier in France. Okay, so that was not even to get money on that. I worked 2 years on that company, and we made like a pre-sale, like a first pre-sale to run the brand. People bought like something like 500 shirts in the first week. Okay, then the bank closed the account and never sent me the money.
Wow.
Right now, I'm still in an injustice with that bank to get that money back from all of these people who buy that shirt. So I was stuck because I can't order the shirt and give them to the people, but I can't even refund the people.
Yeah.
And nobody never give me any reason for that. So that's how far it goes, you know? It starts by, we're going to close your Instagram account, and it finished by, we're going to take all your license, we're going to take your bank accounts, we're going to impeach you to have a job, we're going to impeach you to have like a property, we're going to impeach you. That's how far it can go, you know, if you don't fix any limits. Because if you say, oh, but it's a private company, like Instagram is a private company, so they should have the right to, close an account if they decide. And I agree with that. But I agree only if that comes from them, like a real decision from inside, and not something was told by someone up to them, like government or something, will make occur with that. Because what will a bank win to just throw me out? Nothing. I got money, I'm making money, I'm paying the bank, so they have no reason to throw me out.
Yeah.
If they do that, they do that against the market law. They do that against the capitalism law, It's not about, we're just a private bank, we can decide we work with you or not. Bank doesn't give a fuck about your idea. You're a communist, you're a conservative, you're a fucking Nazi, they don't give a fuck. If you give them money, they're gonna accept you. Until the government say something, That's where the problem is. That's where the problem is, because we are right between communism, where the government owned the bank and everything, and free market capitalism. We're on the worst part in the middle of that, like letting people think that that's a private company decision, but in reality they work for government. That's ridiculous, but that's what happened right now in France.
I want to tell you though about our sponsor, United Patriot Coin. If you follow me on social media at all, United Patriot Coin's been a good friend of mine for a long, long time. They are who I trust for gold and silver. A lot of times people in their hard economic times are trying to figure out, this, economic uncertainty that we're living in with all these weird things that are going on in our world. What do you do? Well, I always advise people, you need to have some gold and silver. And I know there are people out there who say, well, you can't eat gold and silver. Trust me, you need some gold and silver on hand. You need some bullion, you need some coins, you need some stuff you can barter with. There's various things you can use to do that with, but some gold and silver would be a good thing to have on hand. So the folks that I trust, UnitedPatriotCoin.com, head over there. You can call them on the phone as well. Talk to Trey on the phone. Tell them Chad sent you. and he'll walk you through all kind of investment opportunities that are out there. So check him out. I mean, that's a nightmare. If people, I mean, put yourself in his shoes. You start a business, your business is going well, or you have a business that's established, and then suddenly you go to the bank to transact more business, and they're like, nope, your account is no good here anymore. This is no good. That's frightening. It's frightening on a lot of levels. And I know that people say, well, that's France, but it's happening here too, to a degree. We see it played out, for instance, in an extreme example with the January 6th people, the so-called insurrectionists who get held without charge, or people who had nothing to do with anything that was going on that day who get arrested, and they drain their bank accounts trying to defend themselves legally. And these people's lives will never recover in a big way. In a lot of ways, I mean, they're ruined. Not to mention a lot of people that are in prison for decades. But this, if I applied for let's say I have bad credit and I apply for a credit card, the credit card company will send me a letter that says you're declined. We're not going to approve this because you don't have enough credit. In essence, this is what we're talking about when we talk about a social credit score. You said the wrong things, or you associated with the wrong people, and they labeled you and classified you. So now your social credit score, the bank says, we're not doing business with you. But they didn't just decline you and throw you out. They're keeping your shit.
Yeah. One of the bank, because a lot of banks throw me out, but this one, and I go in justice for that, but it's going to be a fucking long process, and it's going to cost me more money. But if they impeach you to do any money, to do business, how can you fight against them? How can you pay a lawyer? How can you go in a 2 years, justice process if they're in the same time they impeach you to work?
Yeah.
I'm really better since I'm in Texas, and that one of the reasons who made me move there. Okay, but for my workmate, like the other far right influencer, conservative influencer in France, they live this nightmare from inside. And the thing is, people can tell you, oh, you just have to go back in a normal life, do a normal job. But I can't. For the whole shit you just read about me. If I want to apply for a normal job, they're gonna just Google my name.
They're gonna find that article,
and that one is not so bad. Yeah. There's some fucking article who say that I'm a Nazi, or I'm a white supremacist, or some crazy shit.
You're a white supremacist. You're a Nazi. You're an extremist. So you're a skinhead. I can tell. Yeah.
So it's not possible, and even people know me. Like here, I'm anonymous, but in France, people recognize me in the street. Yeah. People, So it's too late. I made this sacrifice, and I made it on purpose. I'm not regret it. But people have to understand that if there's people like you and I who made this sacrifice, they have to be supported by our side. Mm-hmm. Don't let us fall, because we paid the price. And especially there in France, we paid the price of very expensive price. Yeah. Okay? Because I'm 30 years old. That's it. I will normally apply for a credit to get a house. I got a company. I should have all of this. I can't do that. I can't have any credit in France, even if I'm reading actually 3 fucking companies who's really good. I can't buy a house in the land of my ancestors where all my family are.
Wow.
That's a high price to pay. It's hard for American people to understand how much the World War I affected France. Quarters of the men alive die in that war. Generally, on that kind of wars, the quarters of men who die are the toughest. All of these people die. So the French blood, the French genetic changed a lot after that, okay? On the same time, all the refugees from Germany, Italy, Spain, all the communists, all the anarchists came to France to refugee. The population changed. We lost million and million of toughest conservative men, and we gained million of communist refugees and anarchist refugees.